Congratulations. I loved this movie, and
I'm so glad you did.
Regina, you are on a roll. How can one woman deliver so many kinds of excellent content? I mean, you won the Oscar for Barry Jenkins' If Beale Street Could Talk. Then you get Emmy nods for American Crime, for 7 Minutes, for Watchmen, where you really kick ass, obviously. And now your feature directing debut with One Night in Miami, which really broke out of the festivals in a big, big way. How did you find time to squeeze in directing in all of this activity?
Schedule well. And, it does take a lot of scheduling and a lot of people wanting to make sure it works out for you. I have a great team as far as my representation, and majority of the production companies or studios I'm working with are so supportive. And so when they have a little bit of crossover, they've been very much willing to work with each other. So,
oh, that's good.
It is good.
A sense of the timeline, like how you organized the year where you clearly must have been shooting Watchmen and directing this movie more or less. How did that work?
I was shooting Watchmen and prepping the movie at the same time. So that made things, the pre-prep process, some of those things can happen virtually. And then I would fly to New Orleans, which actually is closer to Atlanta than LA. So that also made things more convenient to do some location scouting on, like, say if I would have like a Friday off, or say the AD would work it out to make sure I had a Friday off. So I can leave Thursday night, scout on Friday and Saturday, and come back on Sunday.
Now, you've been prepping to direct for a long time. In other words, you've been directing.
Oh, yeah. I've always said that television, the directing on television was like my film school, so to speak. I think that just being an actress as long as I've been, and the wonderful artists that I've gotten to work with, from directors to production designers to wardrobe designers, that's also been a bit of school, but that was school. Probably a big chunk of that was school happening, and I wasn't aware that I was learning or aware that I was taking the information in. And so once I decided I wanted to be a director as well, I felt TV was still a safe place to begin to employ those things that I picked up along the way. And even with that, even with all of that preparation, I feel like the directing my first theatrical film was just night and day difference in a lot of regards.
Yes, Cassius Clay is the new heavyweight champion of the world, boy.
Yes, he is.
And I don't even have a scratch on my face. Oh, my goodness.
Cash. Cash?
What?
Cash, what?
Why am I so pretty?
Ah.
And I'm only 22 years old. There is no way I'm supposed to be this great. Look, Alexander the Great conquered the whole world at the age of 30, and I conquered the world of boxing at 22 without sustaining so much as a scratch.
That's right. There he goes.
You do the math.
All right.
You did not pick an easy one.
Yeah.
It looks easy. It looks great. It looks like everything is perfect. But I have to say, you are an actress, so you know what I mean. Hotel room, group of guys talking. This is, you had a challenge there, and you actually pulled it out amazingly. But tell me how you faced up to that challenge.
I mean, it started off on the page. Kemp's script it was there, you know, and I feel like that's always what it's been for me as an actress as well, you know, it has to be on the page to start with. I'm sure that there are tweaks and adjustments and maybe some scene cuts or additions that you may make along the way, but the heart of the story starts, you know, in the writer's hands. And then from there, just casting actors that you trust and that are amazing and that have similar expectations as you and want to embody these icons. They, all four actors never at any point was interested in doing an imitation or impersonation, you know? And so they went into it just with their minds, hearts, bodies, and souls, you know?
And a lot of them had theatrical training, especially the two that we're talking about, Kingsley Ben-Adir and Leslie Odom Jr. from Hamilton. Obviously, they went toe-to-toe.
This is a white boy from Minnesota who has nothing to gain from writing a song that speaks more to the struggles of our people, more to the movement than anything that you have ever penned in your life, brother. I know I'm not the shrewd business person you are, my brother, but since you say being vocally in the struggle's bad for business, why's this old song going higher on the pop charts than anything you got out? Why has this song gone higher on the pop charts than anything you got out?
How long did that whole hotel sequence take to shoot?
That part of the hotel sequence, because, you know, we're in that hotel room for quite a bit of time, but that took, I guess, 4 days. And I'll tell you why. Because the scene, that particular scene, I want to say that one was 14 pages.
Wow.
And the one on the roof was 12 pages.
Wow.
And we were dealing with weather issues as well. So it was really unconventional style of shooting, because I told them that they needed to know all of those scenes and we had to treat them like a play, because at any moment we might have to jump outside. And also, because the scenes are so long and we're shooting in one space, we might just have to break it in half, the scene. I decided to treat it like a good stopping point and just shoot the one direction and just shoot it out one direction, and then turn around the next day and shoot it out the other direction, and then go to the second half. So it was an unconventional style of shooting a scene, not really how an actor would like to, but everyone understood as we looked at those, 26 pages together, and the weather and everyone's schedule. Again, it starts with just having a great team to start. You got to go in with a strong team.
Sam, I do plenty.
Oh, do you? Let's see. You suck at sports.
Well, I was never much into
can't
football.
Sing. Damn sure can't make shit out of no peanut.
Is there a point to this,
My point
Sam?
is that sometimes I feel like you just like all the rest of them people out there, obsessed with the stars.
Oh, no, Kenneth.
Look around.
Let him
Look
finish.
around. Which one of us don't belong?
Don't belong.
Don't belong.
Brother Sam, the only person here white people seem to like, that would be you.
Hey. I mean, there's a part of me that wants to say you were managing this testosterone energy. There was so much male energy. These were successful, powerful, charged alpha males, every one of them with their own issues. And it felt like you somehow figured out how to turn each of them. I mean, obviously each one was playing a different character, but almost like you gave them a different role to play in the dramatics of the scene.
Well, I mean, I think it wasn't so much a different role for them to play. All four of those men are so different in just their walks and their approach to life, and just what they did in life. Made them so different. The mindset of a football player is different than the mindset a singer, you know, and even a football player and a boxer, you know, and just that alone makes them different. But outside of that, what was the same, and I always stress to them throughout, is that we have to remember the humanity, that people see pictures of them, people, you know, think they know them, but we haven't really explored the men behind the image, and to take the time to capture those vulnerable moments that every human being has, and that men more often than women are not comfortable with exposing. And this is an opportunity, because you're not exposing it outwardly. You're actually exposing it within this comfortable space with your brothers. So what does that look like? What does that feel like? Yeah, it was constantly not remembering, not playing the obvious beat, but the nuanced moments.
Absolutely. And you get Leslie Odom singing as Sam Cooke. So those were some pretty big scenes to pull off.
Let me hear you. You got it, you got it. Sounds so good, yeah. Ah, yeah. That's the sound of the man working on the chain. The gang, that's the sound of the man working on the chain. Gang. All day long they're singing.
I was curious to hear from you. Here you are taking on the difference between TV and movies is that the director in movies really is the person in charge. These decisions are yours.
Yeah.
Carry the whole thing. And even if you have all this great support, it's a team effort. Still, you're the boss. And I wondered what was the most challenging. I bet it was really fun too, but what was the most challenging aspect of it for you?
It is so hard to come up with the most challenging. Every day was challenging. Every single day, minute, very little sleep. So it's just, I can't say what was most challenging. You know, there were some days it was like, you'd look at what was to come and go, how are we going to get all of this done in this amount of time? And so maybe that was, if I would try to figure out what was the most challenging thing, it would be that to keep my mind from going to the place of, we're not going to get this done, to remain in the space of remain in a solution-based frame of mind. So that was probably overall, I guess, the most challenging.
Must have been somewhat liberating also not to be acting in a way for you.
Oh my God. No, I don't. I've acted while directing once before, and you know, I'm pretty sure I don't really ever want to do it again.
So you also put together an entire crew. So tell me a little bit about how you chose your DP, the different folks on your crew.
Right. Definitely research, sitting down, having meetings with them. Tammy came in and she immediately showed her presentation of what she saw for One Night in Miami. It was very similar to what I was already thinking as far as saturated look, wanting to, for me, I feel like as a people, we're very vivid. We bright, not the colors aren't bright, but we're vivid. We're I like to say like Technicolor. And while I didn't want it to look like a TV show, I would say it was stylized in the regard of the blues and the golds that we used and the greens that we used were they were saturated. So it was like pleasing to your eyes as well as.
Were you influenced at all by Beale Street?
I would be lying if I said that I wasn't.
I still remember that green dress you wore.
Yeah. Jacob Lawrence, his work was truly, if you look at any of his paintings, you could see why he was an inspiration for the color palette. I also really love this, like the scene when the prayer scene, when we go outside and we're looking at, we see the nation, the brothers praying as well. And you kind of can see the light through the kind of the cinder block. And I got that from this movie that, In the Mood for Love.
I get it. I see it.
Yes. So, you know exactly what images I'm talking about. So those two were inspirations. And that was what circulated between the four of us all the time. And then the Muhammad Ali book, the GOAT book, that big, heavy GOAT book, that was like our Bible for both fight scenes, for when the underwater photograph that we reenacted, just to get the scope of the different fights, how different they were, and how could we make them feel different on the budget that we had. That book was like a Bible for that. So I would say those three things were our biggest go back to, a lot of old images that Francine pulled from the Sir John Hotel, inspired a lot of the wardrobe, and for Barry, the production designer, we always had a conversation about the blues and golds that Jacob's paintings had. So that was a big, and then that Hampton House already kind of had that bright yellow Miami. So we kind of figured, like, let's kind of tone it down a little bit, but still lean into the Miami of it all with the neons that we had throughout. So it was just, I can't stress enough just how strong of a team that I had, but going through the process of putting the team together, Francine was, I really didn't even need to have her put together a presentation, because I got an opportunity to work with her years ago on This Christmas. And just when seeing her work from then to now, I knew that if I could get her, that would, first of all, that would give me a big, I could let my shoulders drop, because I knew she understood the era. I knew that it would take something else off of my mind. And Francine, man, did she deliver. She made it so much fun, from being able to look at all of these different swatches and textures of suits and sending her photos. Sam was actually probably the most fun of everyone, because he got to wear so many different suits. And I would send Francine a picture, and she would find fabric that looked like this picture that I would send to Sam. And, moments that I would be like, well, I don't know, is it too shiny? She said, no, look, this is him in the picture. We've got to do it. So she would push me, because I'm very good, and my editor, Tarek, who is absolutely amazing. Both he and Francine were very good at, I can sometimes overthink something, think about it so much, or obsess about it so much, that I'll go, okay, maybe I'll need to change it. And they go, no, stop, sit with it for a little bit. So they were very good at reminding me to go with an idea that I had and not abort it, you know, or because I'm overthinking it. And with Tarek, when I said The King's Speech has been a film that has always stuck with me from the time that first time I saw it. So obviously I was trying to meet with as many female department heads, department heads as possible. And I did actually meet with a couple editors that were women, and just Tarek, just the connection that we had. And I talked, and the first editor that I did want to use was Joy. And that's, again, probably because of Beale Street, and just what she did was just so amazing to me on Beale Street. But, you know, that Barry's got her, that she is not available. But I had some really great conversations with her. And I told her, you know, I'm kind of going back and forth between two editors, but one is a man, and I'm not sure, you know, I've made this statement to employ more women, and I'm doing that, and I'm trying to do that. And some women that I've hired have fallen out for different reasons, and I don't know, but this Tarek, he just seems to truly have an understanding of this film. And she said, Regina, you got to go with your gut, go with what you feel. And I was so grateful for Joy to tell me that, because I feel like, again, I was getting, I wouldn't have had the film that I have now if Tarek was not the choice, you know. And so I'm grateful for that.
The editing room, in terms of making sure that it flowed and that the arc was working for you.
Yeah, I mean, from the beginning, Tarek has been when I say beginning, from immediately starting to shoot, he was the person that made me be able to not obsess over what I may not have gotten, because which I would in the beginning, I wouldn't. And if you ever talk to him, he'll tell you, Regina, this is what he would tell me. If I think you missed something, I promise you, I will call you, and I will not let that set be, I will not let them strike that set. And he, if I didn't hear from him for like 2 days, I would call and say, how are things looking? And he would say, it's beautiful. Like his first day, he told me everything is beautiful. And I couldn't just be okay with that. I'm in my mind, I'm like, I'm missing something. And I'm sure that this is not, I'm not the only director. It's not just being a first time director that reason why I'm doing that. That is, again, why you have a great team. So when someone else something I may miss, someone else catches, or something else someone else may miss, someone else, or I catch, it's no one was ever, I felt like one of the strengths that I have is to empower people to feel like their ideas and their contribution really matters, because they do. And so when people feel that way, I feel like they don't, when you approach things that way and make it very clear to people that that's how you feel and this is the environment that you're in, people take ownership. And so no one wants their name attached to something that isn't good. So when people feel like they have a piece of something, that they're a part of something, that's when I feel like you get people giving 150%.
So the movie, as you know, is being talked about as an awards film, but they announced the inclusion standards for Best Picture, and you're going to have no trouble being eligible. But what's your take on this initiative that the Academy's been doing?
I think that it's a good thing. Of course, I'm going to think it's a good thing because I'm a part of the. I've understood and been part of the conversation, all my life of seeing talented people not get opportunities. But I kind of look at it as an opportunity to expand your creativity, to be able to dream bigger, dream in color.
Exactly.
Pun intended.
You're going to make a Western now?
I am. So much fun. Yeah, it works. It really works well for me to be able to go from directing to acting, because it kind of, I need to be able to focus on something else so I'm not obsessing about something that's already done. And my career has really worked out that I've been able to do that.
Sure has. Gina, congratulations again, and thank you so much for.
Thank you.
Today.
Thank you.